5 out basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 out basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And for a little preview for the segment we're about to talk about, me and Everton, we tend to agree here a lot. It's kind of like our shtick. But we do have different opinions on the series. I know that. Everton, who are you rolling with and why?
I'm rolling with the Timberwolves. So, okay.
Don't say games yet. Just say winner, by the way.
Just winner. Timberwolves. This is low-key glaze, but they beat the Nuggets. I kind of believe they can beat anybody else because the Nuggets, like, they were that team. Everybody was like, well, it's the Nuggets, y'all. Like, ain't nobody beating the Nuggets. That's kind of how we all felt about the Nuggets. Like, we just all accepted the Nuggets were going to go back-to-back damn near, right?
Uh-huh.
So them beating the Nuggets is already like, hey, bro, you able to beat them? You got it. But they have the personnel to handle the Mavericks. Like, I'm not going to bring a regular season, but the Timberwolves did beat the Mavs 3-1 in the regular season, but that literally doesn't matter. But the defense, the Timberwolves defense has proven to be what we expected it to be. I know they have the number one defense in the regular season, and we're like, oh, okay, what's it going to do in the playoffs? No, it's been even better in the playoffs. So they have the personnel to match it well with the Mavericks, right? Because, they were able to take Jamal Murray out of games for pretty much that whole series. I know that game 7, he was going crazy, but literally every other game in the series, it felt like Jamal Murray was legit in hell, right? And obviously the Mavericks have Luka and Kyrie, but the Timberwolves have the switchability to handle that. Like, obviously you're not going to just fully lock up those two dudes because at the end of the day, it's Luka and Kyrie. But Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, to a lesser degree Mike Conley, but he's not the worst defender in the world. They have the defensive personnel to put up wings on those guards. And then even the role players, because I'm not going to spoil it too much, but OKC kind of lost to role players in a way, right? They also have the personnel to handle some of them role players because obviously I named 4 people. That doesn't mean all 4 of them are going to be guarding Luka and Kyrie. So who's going to guard those role players? Other people will. And Cat, hey, flowers to you. You're not the worst defender anymore. You used to be really bad. You actually are competent now. And if he can do some things too, cool. And then when it comes to the bigs for the Mavs, like Lively and Gafford, the Timberwolves can handle that. I think so. Because those dudes are mainly paint guys. Rudy Gobert, DPOY for a reason, right? So, and then the bench stuff. Nas Reed, I mean, come on, So I think the Timberwolves, all in all, have the personnel to handle the Mavericks. But I think it'll be a great series.
Yeah, I'm going to do a whole lot of disagreeing here because I think the Mavericks are just like, so I think the Nuggets are a better team than the Mavericks. However, I think the Mavericks are more of a nightmare matchup for the Timberwolves than the Nuggets were. And let me explain why.
Okay.
So the Timberwolves, they took advantage of being able to get these lengthy wings on to shut out Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Even though you said this, I just disagree. I don't think you can do that on Luka and Kyrie because it just involves way too much switching, and they didn't have to worry about Contavious Caldwell Pope. Let's be serious. Kyrie's the best second option in the NBA. I don't think they can afford to do that. And something that Timberwolves were able to take advantage of is they were able to do these rotations by leaving Anthony Gordon so wide open in the corner that he could have like 5 seconds to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
You cannot do that against PJ Washington. You cannot do that against Derrick Jones. And if Maxi Kleber comes back, he's shooting 55% from 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, of course. And with the injury he had, I don't know if he'll continue to do that, but true that.
But you just cannot afford to leave these guys open because PJ Washington is shooting 6.8 attempts per game. And he's making, what is it? Hold on. He's making 40% shooting 6.8 attempts. Derrick Jones is making 37.5 with his 3 to 4 attempts, and Maxi Kleber's doing that. You cannot leave these big guys open with these rotations. You got to be way too disciplined. And then when it came to the Nuggets, I'm going to be honest, Jamal Murray is not like an exceptional passer. Luka and Kyrie both know how to move the ball. So these double teams are happening. They're going to find the openings. And then when you do all these rotations and you get Rudy Gobert out of position, you get these 2 athletic freaks and Derek Lively, Derrick Jones, and Daniel Gafford, these 3 athletic freaks who are going to cut in the paint. There's going to be alley-oop opportunities. The Timberwolves rely a lot on these rotations. And I just think the Mavericks have the capability to get past this with their ball movement, athletic freaks, and big men that actually shoot the ball. And my final point is I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have a taste of their own medicine coming their way because as we talk about where they get these tall, lengthy wings to defend these guards, people forget the Mavericks had the number one defense in the last 15 games
Yeah.
of the regular season. And now you get Derrick Jones and PJ Washington, who are like 6'7" guys with 7', 7'2" wingspans.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards got some stuff coming his way. And
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns got to continue to be exceptional for them to have a chance because Anthony Edwards is not going to have as much success as he did against the Denver Nuggets.
That's true. I ain't mad at that. I am like that's why I said it's gonna be a great series because it's
Oh,
kind of like the best of both worlds in a way.
Mhm.
Like it's really gonna be who performs. But I'm not mad at that. I'm totally not mad at that.
Yeah, we're in for an exciting series. I think it's
Yeah.
going to 7 either way, but I
Yeah.
am banking on the Mavericks. My only worry, which kind of got saved for me thanks to the Phoenix Suns deciding to injure coaches, is
Hmm.
Chris Finch is a much better coach than Jason Kidd. So I
Yep,
trust
he
him
is.
more to make the adjustment. But guess
Yeah.
what? Chris Finch ain't making it.
Oh, yeah, it's that Mike Nori guy, the
Yeah.
assistant. Yeah. True,
So
true,
we might
true.
have an even coaching field, so which makes me a little more confident.
Fair enough. Okay, my only question for you,
What's up?
right, is okay. SGA had great success against the Mavs. I know we lost, but SGA was good in pretty much every game.
Mhm.
Why do you not think Edwards can do similar to that?
Well, I think he can, but like even though Jalen Williams and Chet didn't have the greatest games as well, you still have other guys that you could like somewhat rely on. It's really
Hmm.
Anthony Edwards and Cat on the offensive side of the ball. Where it's like if Edwards is still I think the Mavericks defense can focus more on just stopping Edwards rather than having to
Hmm.
stop Shea, J-Dub, Giddy. Like I feel like they had more to worry about against the Thunder compared to the Timberwolves, so I think they can lock in more on Edwards. He's still
Okay.
gonna have success. Like this, not like he's gonna have stinkers throughout, but I
Yeah.
think they have a better chance of just being able to solely focus on him.
I don't know. I mean, Jaden McDaniels has come up big when they need him to like knock down some shots.
Mm,
But that you can't bank on that. That's the thing what I'm saying. With both teams, it kind of feels like
mm.
it's gonna be a battle of which role players are gonna step up more.
That's the
Because
story of this
like
whole playoffs.
literally the whole playoff. I said this is literally the role player playoffs. Like this
Mm,
is we're not even role player playoffs. We are in the role player era. I know that sounds
hmm.
crazy, but like we're no longer in the whole super team era. Like you need role players. Role
Yeah.
players are super important for like championship teams. Um, and I do think it's gonna come down really big in this series. Like, all right, I know we have these superstars, but what is Jaden McDaniels and PJ Washington gonna do in this series? Like
Mm,
that's important to both teams, you know? And I think they're both great defensive too. Like, it's so
uh-huh.
hard to really like to really like pick who I think is gonna
Yeah.
win. Like, I'm going Timberwolves because look, bro, like I know this is really glazing, but they beat
Mm.
the Nuggets, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
that's massive.
I can't act like they didn't just beat the Nuggets, you know?
Mm.
And in some of those games, they wiped the floor with the Nuggets. Like they blew them
Yeah.
out in like 3 games, it felt like. I think was it
Mm.
3 games?
Yeah.
Um, so for them to be able to contain the Nuggets like that, I do feel like they could do not the exact same, but they could kind of do the same to the Mavericks. But the only
Mm.
thing is, Luke is a guard, right?
Exactly.
With
I think that's
Jokic,
huge.
that's huge, right? Jokic is a center, and it's still Jokic. You're not really gonna do too much with that. But with
Mm.
Luca, he's a guard, so there's a little difference there because his passing. I mean, I'd say Jokic is a better passer, but Luca is literally just probably like two, you know.
Mm.
And then like he's a better shooter, blah blah blah. And sometimes Luka just gonna make them dumb shots that it's just like, all right, bro, that's
Mm.
just that Luka shit. But um, and he hasn't had a great playoffs either. Honestly, he's had some ups and some downs in this playoffs. He was a little bit
Mm.
better against OKC, but he has some ups and some downs.
I agree.
And then Kyrie, I know he hasn't had great games, but if you watch him on the defensive side of the ball, whoa.
Mm.
Low-key playing defense. I won't even
Mm.
lie. Low-key playing defense. So I don't know. It's all about like the role players, man. I just feel like the stars are gonna either do good or bad, but the role players are the biggest X factors in this series. So
Yeah, I know these TV companies are so pissed. They used to like,
oh
oh, we
man.
can build our program around LeBron. We can build it around Curry, Jordan. It's like we're building around Nas Reed. Yeah, no,
Literally, bro.
no wonder TNT didn't get into a bidding war.
Oh, don't even remind me, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my God, dude.
we get one more year, one more year.
One more, man. But before we move on, I do want to say something.
Mhm.
Why does everybody hate the Nuggets?
Oh, I was actually gonna do a little bit of hating, not too much
Okay.
hating, but
Uh-huh.
I just feel like as a media, I feel like we glazed them a little too hard. They were
Mm,
fantastic, but
yeah.
we treated them like they're the New England Patriots, like they won like 4 or 5 championships.
Yeah. They
They
won
won
one.
one.
That's what I'm saying. But it's really the media's fault why
Yeah,
people
that's
hate
like,
them.
oh, that's also true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Because
think
like go
Again,
ahead.
they're fantastic, but I feel like we just overhyped them a little too much. Like, oh my God, they beat the Denver Nuggets. They beat a one-time champion. Like, if you really think about it, like Jokic is
Yeah,
amazing, don't get me wrong.
yeah,
But
yeah,
this
yeah.
wasn't like some 1990s Bulls super team they just managed to knock out.
Mm,
I feel like we should have calmed down a little bit. I'm
yeah,
guilty of it. I'm not gonna lie. I was
me too,
completely
me
on the
too.
Nuggets train.
Yeah, me too, me too. Yeah, I can't lie. I'm a part of it,
Yeah.
but like, and I've been asking my friends this like a lot, like, why do y'all hate the Nuggets or why do you hate Jokic? Because it really like now that I think about it, I'm like, what could you really hate about them? Like,
Mhm.
this is a team that struggled with injuries for like 2 years, so they couldn't really compete. They finally get healthy. They win a championship. Cool. And all the players they got, they pretty much drafted, except trading for Aaron Gordon. But like that's not like
Mhm.
a big trade, you know. It ended up being a bigger trade when he got better, but relatively a regular trade, right?
Yeah.
Jokic is a pretty likable super. I know people are xenophobic, clearly,
Uh-huh.
but I don't see any reason to hate Jokic. Like, I know people think he doesn't care about basketball. Newsflash, he cares about basketball.
They said the same thing about Anthony Edwards.
He
Anything to tear down
literally,
these stars.
you can't like. Okay, I know he doesn't. Here's what it is. People don't understand him. He doesn't care for the extra stuff, like the fame and all that. He doesn't care about it. He just cares about winning basketball
Yeah.
games. That's all he cares about. He don't care about nothing else. That's why he says, I don't care about all that. He
Yeah.
doesn't. But I've been seeing a lot. You know what it is, though? It's some Lakers fans, bro.
Yeah.
Simple as
They
that. It's
so
some Lakers
salty.
fans. They're
The-
so salty,
Dude,
bro.
could you
Like,
imagine like Tim Duncan in 2024, bro?
oh my, it'd be the same thing.
Exactly.
Literally the
Exactly.
same thing. So don't hate on y'all hate on the Nuggets too much. We probably just glazed them more than we should have. We treated them like they were like, I don't know, Man City or like Real
Mhm.
Madrid or something, but they just won one chip. We needed to
Yeah.
slow down. That's really what it was. We needed to
Yeah.
slow down.
Yeah. And I'm gonna prepare
Um,
myself to slow down on that a little bit.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
so I'm going to get back to wrap up the Western Conference Finals real quick. I'm going
Mm.
Mavericks in 7.
And I'm going Timberwolves in 7.
Let's see who is the superior podcaster. We'll find out in a couple weeks.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
this is the legacy drive.
Legacy right here, bro.
Yeah. So that's it for the Western Conference Finals. Please let us know in the comments who you have winning and why. Love reading your guys' comments. We've been getting a lot more activity recently. Greatly
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Love
But
you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.